Hello and welcome to In-Depth program. Today's topic of discussion is China's Belt and Road Initiative now making an entry into Afghanistan. So let's discuss about the background. What is One Belt One Road, that is OBOR, how One Belt One Road works, significance of BRI for China, criticism of BRI and its future. So first of all, let's discuss the background. China has finally entered Afghanistan through its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, that is BRI. The agreement was reached in a meeting between China's Foreign Minister Qin Gang and Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari on Saturday. Now let's discuss what is One Belt One Road, that is OBOR. It is the brainchild of Chinese President Xi Jinping. It is an ambitious economic development and commercial project. It focuses on improving connectivity and cooperation among multiple countries spread across the continents of Asia, Africa, and Europe. Dubbed as the project of the century by the Chinese authorities, OBOR spans about 78 countries. Now let's discuss how does One Belt One Road works. Initially announced in the year 2013 with the purpose of restoring the ancient Silk Route that connected Asia and Europe, the project's scope has been expanded over the years to include new territories and development initiatives. Also called the Belt and Road Initiative, the project involves building a big network of roadways, railways, maritime ports, power grids, oil and gas pipelines, and associated infrastructure projects. The project covers two parts. The first is called the Silk Road Economic Belt, which is primarily land-based and is expected to connect China with Central Asia, Eastern Europe, and Western Europe. The second is called the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, which is sea-based and is expected to will China's southern coast to the Mediterranean, Africa, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia. The names are confusing as the belt is actually a network of roads and the road is a sea route. They contain the following 6 economic corridors: the new Eurasian land bridge, which connects Western China to Western Russia; the China-Mongolia-Russia corridor, which connects North China to Eastern Russia via Mongolia; the China-Central Asia-West Asia corridor, which connects Western China to Turkey via Central and West Asia; the China-Indochina Peninsula corridor, which connects southern China to Singapore via Indochina; the China-Pakistan corridor, which connects southwestern China through Pakistan to Arabia Sea routes; and the Bangladesh-China-India-Myanmar corridor, which connects southern China to India via Bangladesh and Myanmar. Now moving on to significance of BRI for China. The Belt and Road Initiative is the most emblematic of China's economic and industrial might as of its ambitions for global political and strategic influence. As infrastructure spending at home became less sustainable, China has shifted the emphasis to boost the global competitiveness of domestic businesses. The large infrastructure investments in the least developed and developing countries have enabled China to leverage its influence around the world, potentially altering the established rules of the global order and challenging Western powers. BRI will strengthen China's presence in the Eurasian region and puts it in a commanding position over Asia's heartland. Criticism of BRI. Western critics have attacked the initiative as new colonialism or Marshall Plan for the 21st century. BRI is also being seen as a part of China's debt trap policy, wherein China intentionally extends excessive credit to another country with the intention of extracting economic or political concessions from the debtor country. Now let's understand why India has not joined. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, that is CPEC, is one of the flagship projects of BRI, which is seen by India as infringing its sovereignty. China is building roads and infrastructure in the disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan, which is under Pakistan's control, but which India claims as a part of Jammu and Kashmir. If the CPEC project gets implemented successfully, this would hamper India's strategic interest in the South Asian region. It will serve Beijing's strategic ambition to encircle India. CPEC can aid Pakistan's legitimacy in the Kashmir dispute. China's increasing footprints in the South Asian region is detrimental to India's strategic hold. Example, construction of the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka provided China critical strategic location in the Indian Ocean. Now, what is its future? According to the Silk Road briefing website, China, by investing in Afghanistan, is looking to protect its sizable investment in Pakistan. Beijing thinks Afghanistan is the missing piece in the puzzle linking West, Central and South Asia. Afghanistan's inclusion in the BRI promises China better access to Central Asia, according to the website. The idea is to engage Afghanistan in economic activity that has already linked China and Pakistan together. A 2021 study found that over 100 debt financing agreements between Beijing and 22 creditor nations known as the Paris Club have clauses that restrict restructuring the deal. Overall debt to China has surpassed 20% of some countries' GDP as per CFR's Belt and Road Tracker. Pakistan ultimately needed a bailout from the International Monetary Fund after its budget ballooned to unsustainable proportions. Italy likely to remain in BRI. Italy is highly unlikely to renew its Belt and Road Initiative deal with China, which expires early next year, but needs time to discuss the issue with Beijing. Italy in 2019 became the first and so far only G7 nation to join the hugely ambitious BRI program, which critics said would enable China to get control of sensitive technologies and vital infrastructure. The then Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte hoped the deal would give a lift to Italy's underperforming economy, but over the past 4 years it has seen little benefit, with exports to China totaling 16.4 billion euros, that is $18.1 billion last year, from 13 billion euros in 2019. By contrast, Chinese exports to Italy rose to 57.5 billion from 31.7 billion over the same period, according to Italian data. Italy's main Eurozone trading partners, France and Germany, exported significantly more to China last year, despite not being part of the BRI. The government officials said Rome would use this lack of economic development as an argument for not renewing the deal. The pact expires in March 2024 and will be automatically renewed unless either side informs the other that they are pulling out, giving at least 3 months written warning. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.